we'll move on to Sunday, 4 o'clock, the second game here, Manchester City versus Chelsea. We'll take a look at the betting, and we have a matchbook.com. City could already be champions by then. They could need a result here to become champions. They're 1.27. Chelsea 14.5 at the Etihad. Draw is 6.8. Both teams to score, yes, is 2.1. No's favoured in that market at 1.8. The Asian handicap line sees Chelsea get a 1 3/4 head start, 1.99. And the goal line here is 3.5. So, Mark, over to you on this one. And look, I put this game in because it is two of the original top six or big six. It just feels like a completely one-sided game. Maybe we wouldn't ordinarily cover this game if it was Manchester City versus a similar team rated by the market as Chelsea.
Yeah, I agree. And the odds make it pretty hard to get involved with a worthy selection. But I put up Man City -1.5, and probably a bit of a theme here, but that's been chopped into, I don't know what price it's now, 174.
So is this document getting leaked somewhere around the place? What's going on? Because we built it in yesterday.
Yeah, frustrating, but that's just the market moves. Can't do anything about it, really. City have been, bar Wednesday, I think, just quite a cold-hearted winning machine in recent weeks, at least in the Premier League. They've gone into kill mode where they're just getting wins by any means and moving on to the next challenge. I think Fulham and Leeds felt they had a chance of doing something against City, weren't able to. And I think last week's game against Everton, the 3-0, isn't a fair reflection on how Everton performed in that match. And, they frustrated City for that first 30 minutes. City lacked kind of incision. They were hounded. They were harassed. Everton looked like they had a bit of a menace on the counter-attack from set pieces, made life really uncomfortable. And then Ilkay Gundogan does something outrageous and it changes the complexion of things. And City have a great base to work from. But this is different. They're back at the Etihad, and regardless of where Chelsea are right now, they'll be keen to put another nail in Chelsea's coffin because of what happened in the Champions League final. And they've responded to those head-to-heads recently with 5 wins from 5 without conceding a goal. I suspect we'll see a strong City side and a good City performance because it is Chelsea. However, it's worth noting that the title could already be done and dusted, depending on what happens at the City ground on Saturday. So perhaps you want to wait until Saturday night before getting involved properly with this match. But even so, I still expect City to win and win quite comfortably because Chelsea kind of opposed them last week in our long shot section when they hosted Forest. Just another limp, poor effort, really. Defensively, so disorganised. Since Lampard's gone in, they've conceded twice or more in 4 of 6. And he's this selection policy just seems to be this sort of bingo style, just pick them out of a hat because changes every other week. Set pieces, they're defending dreadfully poor. They're an embarrassment. They're finishing in the bottom half. They're guaranteed to finish in the bottom half, and they're playing a team who are going to win the title. Chelsea's record against the top half reads 1 win from 17. They've only scored 9 goals in those 17 matches. They've kept 2 clean sheets in the last 14 and managed 5 wins from 26 in the Premier League. So very difficult to sort of be on their side going to the Etihad, knowing the mood City are in, scoring freely. They've scored 3 or more in 13 of 18 home Premier League games. They've won by 2 goals or more in all 7 matches against the top 7, and now they're facing a bottom half team. So I'll happily back them playing -1.5. It's a wager that has won in 14 of Man City's 18 home matches this season. Yet, 175-ish now. More than comfortable backing that. Just more so than possibly City to win to 0 or anything like that, goals based, because City always have the propensity to score a few if you're going on unders, and their clean sheet record hasn't been the greatest in 2023 either.
Adrian, over to you on this one. The stat that jumped out there was Chelsea's record against the top half: 1 win in 17 games and 9 goals scored. So,
yeah, I mean, you couldn't wish for an easier game to win the title, could you? I mean, it's
amazing. It's true. Yeah.
Does anyone get? I wouldn't back Chelsea at 50 to 1. I would. I just wouldn't.
Well, there's a question mark. Very quickly, what price would it take for you to back Chelsea in the win market? Would 50
I'd back him at 50 to 1, yeah.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Maybe, Adrian, you can give that to Mark. Go on.
Yeah, I don't know if I can afford it. It's a pretty one-sided market for obvious reasons. 3rd time they'll have hosted Chelsea this season, by the way. They won 4-0 in the FA Cup, 2-0 in the League Cup way back at the start of the season. And look, I think they're going to win this one as well. No matter what happens, either it will be a party because Arsenal haven't won at Forest, or they'll go out and do the job and win it. It's because Chelsea can't defend. They are literally all over the shop. when it comes to defending at the moment. The organisation's shocking. I think the players have got zero confidence. They, in the last 2 matches, in fairness, they've looked better going forward. They've created more chances. Sterling, obviously, last week, the week before at Bournemouth, I thought there were signs of life there. Mudryk is showing nice flashes as well. So they might have a goal in them at this game, but I can't see them keeping Man City down to less than 3. I think City score at least 3 in this game, probably more. Over 3.5 is the line that I'm looking at, coupled with the Manchester City win. It's come in 61% of the time at the Etihad this season for them in the Premier League. That's 11 of 18. A third of their matches at home have gone over 4.5. I mean, they're an absolute machine, aren't they? Chelsea will definitely concede multiple goals in the game. It's just a case of how many, really. I think Mark's one is probably a slightly safer bet. I think winning by at least 2 is very likely. But I could say, so basically his bet covers the 2-0 and the 3-0, whereas mine doesn't. Covers all of the other outcomes where City win quite handsomely. So but the price does reflect that difference. 2.78 is a juicy price, in my opinion, for City and over 3.5 goals, given how often they do it, given how bad Chelsea are at the back. So if you want a little bit more profits and risk, then take my one on.
Yeah, a couple of choices there. We're going to lock in for the podcast Man City -1.5 on the Asian handicap line. Adrian's selection, Man City, coupled with over 3.5 goals in the match in total, is 2.78. So do check that out. Those markets are available in the other section on matchbook.com.